Hey guys, NRG back here. Today we're going to focus on Coby White and some of the reasons and the factors to why he's undervalued, and then what cards, um, what some ideas of cards you guys can purchase if you're interested in looking into Coby White. I gotta scroll down here. So February he dropped like 3 or 4 consecutive 30-point games off the bench, which was pretty astronomical. And let me scroll back up here. These are kind of some of the records he said. If you guys want to read these articles, it's just NBA. Just search up like NBC Sports Chicago, Coby White, you'll find them. But basically, he destroyed February, and that's why he won Eastern Conference Guard of the Month. Um, and like he's in kind of company with Trey Young. Let's see here. There was something. Not it was actually an NBA.com article. It talks about how he's with something. One of the I don't know if it's 3 pointers or if it was like a month thing. But anyway, no one has done it since 2000 besides Trey Young and Coby White, obviously. So the dude proved that he can play some basketball, and I don't think he'll ever be Ja level. Um. I don't think he'll ever be Ja or Trey level, but I think he can be up there. I think he has more potential than Tyler Hero to be a superstar. Some people will debate me on that, but that's not really the point. The point is he's still probably a top four, top five. Okay, I don't want to make a statement like that, but he's a top young guard. He's one of the top young guards in the league. And if we use kind of the main thing I'm going to focus on in this video is ratios, and the ratios specifically between him and Ja, because there are some. This is something I use with Tatum. I compared Tatum to Luka. I didn't make a video on this, but I bought it. I bought Tatum stuff. I bought this Tatum card and it worked. But kind of using some of these strategies, you could say. And I'm gonna quote prices in a ratio format here, and just to let guys know how I kind of got those prices. It's really just eBay search history, obviously, but um, in terms of the raw stuff, I usually take like the last 3 or 4, kind of average them out because as you can see, raw is just generally more volatile for a lot of reasons. The PSA grading gives it, I don't want to say an authenticity. I mean, obviously it does give it an authenticity, but there's not really that many faked modern cards these days. Um, I don't know, PSA 10s, PSA 9s, PSA whatever. They're just simply more stable in terms of price fluctuations. They're significantly more in raw. So if you guys want to disagree with me on prices, you can do that. But that's not really the point here. The point is to find undervalued ratios. So I kind of grouped these. We're gonna look at the Prism Silver, Prism Base, Optic Hollow, Optic Base, and then some select stuff. Try to get a good mix, a good variance of ideas for everyone. And I mean, I didn't really go down into any of the hoop stuff or the Donruss stuff or even Mosaic, which is all those three are a little bit lower end than the stuff I have got here because I personally don't even have that big of a budget, but I can afford a couple of these cards on this list. Not very many, but a couple. So there's kind of options for everyone. Speaking of options for everyone, this is kind of not everyone's going to have this option, but the Prism Silver is ridiculously undervalued. I was watching. Okay, this is such like a. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything here. I'm just kind of talking about this. I was watching this Coby White Silver Prism in a 10 at like 500 a couple months ago, and that's doubled since then. Jaws exploded, and the reason this multiplier, if you look at the multipliers here, the ratios between Ja and Coby White, the Prism Silver is the overwhelming favorite. No one is really above 4.5 besides this one. That one's like whole .7 ratio uh, above the next like biggest ratio. So that wasn't a very clear explanation. But the reason why is Northeast Ohio Sports Cards discusses this pretty frequently. Prism Silver kind of leads the way. It's the market setter, the trend setter. This is basically the first thing that's going to move. It's also going to move in I don't want to say the largest percentage, but it's going to move very quickly, usually very quickly and very steeply, you could say. So if you're looking in the higher end Prism Silver stuff, the 10 is pretty much the clear cut favorite. Um, I'm not sure. Like if I had the money to buy a Prism Silver and a 9 for Coby White, would I buy that or would I buy like 5 or 6 Prism Base Raws? I'm not really sure. That kind of goes towards a long-term strategy. That's more of a long-term strategy too. If you're buying a lot, you could sell some, hold some. That's just kind of some ideas. That's the thing with card collecting and card speculation and flipping and investing and whatnot. There's so many options. Not only just cards you could buy with strategies, right? So you could buy a lot of like 5 or 6 or 7 Coby White Prism Raws, and then grade a couple, flip a couple, cover your costs, and make more profit if you think he's going to be a long-term superstar. So there's a plethora of options within Coby White, and this little chart is definitely not encompassing all those options. So if you guys are interested in anything Coby White, I highly advise you not just to look at these ratios, but also do some research on your own and try to find something undervalued, especially considering what your budget is and your price range and all that. But anyway, yeah, for Prism Silvers, I personally would stick to the 10 more than the 9 in the raw. If you're looking at raw stuff, the Prism base is pretty much going to be the gold standard of raw stuff. I'm not saying the Prism base is a better card than the silver, obviously, but it just, I don't know. I feel like it's talked about more. It moves a little bit more. I don't have actually. That's just a statement. That's kind of my personal opinion. That's not a data backed claim or anything. I'm sure I could find data to back it. I just don't have that available at my fingertips right now. But anyway, Prism, yeah, basically all the Prism stuff is pretty good ratio. You got the 3.5 and up, especially this Prism base raw. So a couple of months, probably like a month and a half ago, probably 2 months ago, I purchased a Coby White Prism base raw for $25.49 shipped and taxed. That card has increased since then. I'm gonna look to sell about 80 or 90, I think. But when I bought that card, it was a $20 purchase price, and the jaw was going for about 80. And that jaw has doubled, obviously, and so has the Coby White in terms of purchase price. But the point is, the ratio stays the same. It's about a 4x multiplier. And you could argue that I don't think it's fair to argue that Ja Morant should be 4x Coby White. I think, assuming Coby White can play, maybe not 30 points a night, obviously not 30 points a night, but he can play at a relatively high level once he kind of settles into the league a little bit. I would say I don't think that 4x multiple is justified. You could argue that maybe Coby White. I think a fair right now he should be about a third to a half of Ja, just based on off of his potential. And then, but once he starts actually playing well, he could be justified. You could justify him being anywhere between a half and a third of or not, a half and 2/3. I mean, of what job prices are. So that's kind of my big thing here. In Prism Base Raw, $40 purchase price in the sports card market right now is not exactly expensive, especially when you look at some of the other. Because Prism Base Raw is relatively, it's not necessarily high end for a lot of cards. I mean, it's high end for Zion and John and whatnot, but. In general, not. I mean, it's not like super high end compared to all the PSA silvers and whatnot. But where am I going with this? Oh, it's a good option. It's incredibly liquid, and it's kind of a gold standard. One of the pinnacles of sports cards. Modern. When I'm saying modern, I don't mean like LeBron modern. I mean like last 3 years kind of modern. And then the optic stuff. Optic is really interesting just because of how undervalued it is on the whole. Uh, and I just looked at we're looking at the hollows here. So excuse me. I'm going to touch on both Ja and Coby White in this little blurb about the hollows. I don't particularly love any of the hollows besides the hollow raw. Um, if I wouldn't recommend. Don't look to grade the hollow raw or really any optic stuff. Especially if you're just buying one, because the printing on those things is ridiculous. Print lines. You've got print lines, surface scratches, dimples. Centering is horrific. I'm assuming most of you guys are familiar with that though. But anyway, I'm not. This is not a typo. Like Jaws Optic Hollow 9 has been selling for like 500, and so is the Raw. And that's not. There should be at least like a 20-25% boost for the PSA 9, and you can kind of see that in a lot of these. Like if you look at Coby White's just Prism Raw 40, and then the base 9. That's up at 65. That's $25 or 25 out of 40, which is what, like 2.5. So that's like 2.5 out of. Anyway, there's like these ratios are off, and this ratio is crazy. The 9 should not be selling for less than the hollow raw. I don't think you can snag one at 450. I actually don't know. Let's see what you guys. I can't buy this, but I don't have the capital to. But 2019 optic. 2019 Optic Jaw Hollow PSA 9. I gotta filter out a bunch of stuff here. Minus house. Let's see what the lowest buy it now is. I'm gonna see if there's anything you guys can scoop. Go lowest first. please load. Thank you very much. There's a purple. No, so you can't really snag anything right now. But if we do look at sold items, all listings, I got to filter back out to ended recently. You're looking at 461. That's sold pretty much 2 or 3 days ago. That's an incredible steal. Whoever snagged that, congratulations to you. So yeah, if you guys want to snag those hollow PSA 9s, that would be a very undervalued card from a Josh standpoint. I actually like this. Is kind of off topic. I mean, it still fits the main topic, but it's not Coby White. I think Ja Morant. He kind of proved that he's the real deal this first couple of weeks, and obviously he went down with an injury. So if you want to buy Ja, buy him now, because his cards will pick back up. But before he even plays, again, they'll probably be hyped the last couple of days before he comes back. If you buy now, you'll probably make your money back on a lot of things. I kind of did that with Michael Porter Jr. That's not what today is. That's not what I'm talking about today though. Optic base. That's interesting. I really like Coby White's optic base raw at $15. That's again that 4x multiple. And then when the select stuff, I'm gonna kind of pass over the optic base stuff. I don't really like the graded optic base right now. I mean, you can buy it if you'd like to. I still think it's probably undervalued, but I just think there are better options available. In terms of select, I'm not a huge select guy. I mean, I appreciate it from a collector's standpoint, but I don't, and it's probably undervalued from a speculation standpoint. But um, I mean, I'm knowledgeable about it to a degree, but I'm not super knowledgeable about how to flip it. The court side seems really, really cheap for Coby White and the PSA 10. And then the Premier is obviously cheap because I mean the ratio for Premier isn't great, but Premiers are. It's messed up that Jaws Premier is only $70 more than the Concourse when Premier is significantly more rare. And I also think the Premier looks pretty cool. Like I kind of wonder if the 2018 Select Premier excuse me, like price evenness, I guess you could say, with the Concourse is justified, just because of I don't really like the die cut as a base card. But I really think the Premier should be a lot higher than that. But I'm not inventing the wheel on that one. Millions of guys, not millions, but a lot of people have talked about that before I have. So now I'm gonna filter by this. I do please work. Sort, descending, expand and sort. So that's just sorted by the biggest ratio to the smallest ratio. You guys can screenshot this, whatever, if you'd like to look at it more in depth. But this is pretty much what I was kind of talking about. These top four pretty much are the ones I would target if I'm looking to buy Coby White. You could also look into hoops and downrush. I don't think there's a big enough. I don't think Coby White will get to the level of like Luka, where his Prism Silver is so expensive that it makes sense for people to buy the hoops. So I would kind of stay away from the super low end stuff. But there's definitely a ton of options when it comes to Coby White. So that kind of wraps it back up. Let me know what you guys think. If you like Coby White, if you don't like Coby White. This is one of my hotter. Not really a hot take, but it's kind of unproven. When I feel like a lot of my other ideas have been more statistically focused and statistically sure, I guess you could say. I probably should have prefaced this video, not concluded it with this, but I'm a Bulls fan, so take that for what it's worth. I thought I'd let you guys. It's not fair for me to show love to a guy and then not say that I'm a Bulls fan. That's gonna probably influence my take on things. Keep that in mind. I still think, even from an objective standpoint, though, I still like Coby White. Overall on the whole. So look for more videos coming soon. I know I didn't say that every day, but it's actually my second day straight making a video, so I'm doing pretty well in that aspect. And hopefully I'll have one either out tomorrow or maybe even later tonight if I get another recording done. I'll see. So appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.